number 8 kicks off in Calgary, where the red-hot Stampeders welcome the Alouettes to town. The Stamps have won 3 straight. They're off to their best start in the last 3 years. While Montreal coming off a thrilling 1-point victory against the Toronto Argonauts. It is a fantastic matchup. That man is at the wrong game. It's not the Rough Riders.
You know they're always going to be there.
They are not playing tonight.
You know they're always going to be there.
We love Rider fans. That's it. It doesn't really matter.
Everywhere.
Enoch Mwamba, David Sanchez, Milt Stegall as we get set for this one. Milt, what are you looking forward to in this game tonight?
Looking forward to VA. He's been hotter than fish grease the last 3 games, and basically all season. So you never heard that, Kay?
No, I've never heard that.
Goodness.
That's a Southern term, I guess.
Yeah, I assume so.
But he's been hotter than fish grease, and I'm looking forward to him continue this. As I say, I'm his biggest fan. And when this guy is on, he's on. He just has to stay on. And if he stays on, I don't know how anybody can beat him. So I'm keeping my eye on VA to see if he can continue playing the way he's played.
It's going to be, I'm going to piggyback off something Enoch just said, because when Enoch talks, I listen. And you made a great point about Ento and the jump balls down the field. I do think that's going to be key. A lot of the successes from this Calgary offense have been the deep balls, those 50-50 contested balls. I'm kind of sick of hearing about 80-20 balls for receivers all year long. The Montreal DBs aren't buying that. Let's see what happens tonight. I think Ento and these guys are sick of seeing all these jump balls. I think they have a big game, have an impact.
You know why? Because when we played against you, it was 100-0 every single time.
Don't let them do you like, man. Listen, there's going to be a lot of pressure tonight. I think this is going to be one of those games that Vernon Adams is. It's not going to be like the last 3 games. Yes, he's performed well. I'm not taking anything away from him. But this is going to be one of those games where he's going to have to manage the game properly. And throwing the ball up, like you mentioned, is not going to be just a solution tonight. You got the big boys up front and Oakman and Uguak who have a lot of length. And VA is not the tallest of quarterbacks, but it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that pressure, because the clock is going to be ticking all night long.
Do you think this is going to be a high-scoring game, or because of these defenses?
It's going to be a defensive battle. It is going to be a defensive battle.
I'm going low, too. I'm with you on this one. Yeah, you're not?
I think both of these quarterbacks are going to have a great game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
I think the key, too, is Macbeth's legs, because Macbeth, when he wants to take off and run, he's more than capable. So I expect
the good thing is, Calgary, if they're only bringing 3, I mean, you know what?
Good point.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want him to run tonight, though, especially after the last week of days.
It's going to be a good game. I'm excited
for this game,
Stay in the pocket, McLeod.
You know what? We need to get to kickoff. This has been a late game tonight. We've been waiting around. We've been talking about this game for hours. You two okay?
No, he always runs his mouth. Always got something to say. 100-0.
Kickoff from Calgary coming up next. For BC, this is your chance to win big. Thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Jane. Let's get you to Calgary and join Dustin Nielsen and the real Glenn Suter, unlike the fake Glenn Suter last week.
I'm going to mention how Montreal snuck out a victory last week, but lost Davis Alexander.
Okay, yeah.
In the MBT.
Montreal, you're the visiting team. What's your choice?
How do we look, Dave?
Yeah, either they're shrinking my suits, or
do what I do. If you go to a place, they'll let them out a bit.
oh, there you go. Got to do that. I do the let out thing. Okay.
For the Montreal Alouettes, first of 2 meetings this season, and it's a beautiful night here in Calgary. 27 degrees at kickoff. A little bit of wind, but not much, and we are underway at McMahon. again. This will be taken at the 5, back up to the 20, near sideline, and eventually pushed out just outside the 35 on the return. Lincoln Victor. Here's a look at MBT.
Yeah, McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 27 and 35 in his CFL career as a starter, 3 and 5 against the Calgary Stampeders and the different teams he's played for. And then when you think of this year, when Davis Alexander missed 2 games, the Alouettes lost both of those, but the second one was on the last second walk-off field goal by the BC Lions. McLeod Bethel-Thompson really did all he needed to win that game.
At 192 yards, a couple touchdowns in that game. They will start it on the ground here in Calgary. Let's take a look at this Montreal offense. The first handoff goes to Sean Thomas Erlington.
A couple of games ago, Pierre-Olivier Lestage had a penalty that was detrimental to the outcome of that game for the Montreal Alouettes, and he bounced back big time last week. 99% was his grade. And how about the game of Cole Speaker, who had 129 yards receiving against the Argos.
2nd and 8 for MBT. Throwing situation, gets it away. First down as he finds Austin Mack to get the game going for Montreal.
Little trips into the boundary, 3 receivers into the boundary, and MBT, who is a timing thrower. I mean, this is a guy who's going to throw to a spot, he's going to throw on time. The receiving core for the Alouettes know if they just get to their spot, the ball should arrive when they come out of their break.
13 yards there to Mack. He caught 3 passes last week in that win over Toronto. Throwing again, that one in the direction of Mack. That is stopped by this Calgary defense.
Jalen Hutchings has arrived in the Canadian Football League, was here in Calgary last year, but didn't get a lot of playing time. He leads the team with 4 sacks. More on him as this game goes on. I've been impressed with Jacob Roberts, who leads the defense with 31 defensive tackles. And how about the interception with Adrian Green against Winnipeg when they were on the doorstep looking to score and take the lead against the Bombers in Winnipeg, and he picked it off.
His team leading 3rd interception of the campaign. MBT from the pocket with time down the field, and that is batted away right in the direction of Adrian Green. They were looking for Speaker, who had a monster game last week, 129 yards on 9 catches.
Yeah, just a bender to Cole Speaker here, and beat MBT trying to time it up, but like Adrian Green got his hand on it, and not far away. That was Derek Moncrief who has a pick 6. Of course, Damon Webb has a couple of pick 6s.
4 of them on the season as a group. Zima sent to kick it away from about his own 40. Kalen Horton waits to return, takes it cleanly at the 5. Found a little bit of a hole. There's a flag on the play, though, and I think this is going to be backed up a little bit. Not great field position to start for Vernon Adams.
Illegal block. Calgary number 28. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Dave Dickinson called it the gauntlet when he looked at the schedule and saw Winnipeg twice, Saskatchewan, and then Montreal. He is now 3-0 because of the play of his quarterback and his defense. Well, really all 3 phases, but certainly quarterback in Vernon Adams, who's at 1,700 yards. I mentioned the 8 touchdowns in the last 3 games. 3-0 in the gauntlet, and every time he faced those teams, other than the Winnipeg game the second time, because they beat him the first time, they were undefeated. They hadn't lost yet, Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, in the first 2.
VA doesn't mind throwing it deep. About 20% of the time, he'll be looking 20 yards or further downfield, and nobody in the league runs the ball more than Calgary, and that's where they're going to start on the ground here, pushing it out just outside the 10 in the hands of Deidre Mills, who's fired up early, part of this Calgary offense.
Well, Joshua Coker at right tackle was a late scratch here in warm-up, so the rookie out of Purdue, Preston Nichols, will start there. We'll watch the matchup between he and Isaac Ediemi Berglund on the other side, and there he is, the first-round draft pick, Damian Alford, who is turning heads.
VA far side. Tevin Jones has it, trying to reach out to pick up the first down. He'll be very close here.
Yeah, I would say almost within a yard. Tevin Jones becoming a little more targeted over the last couple of games. Last week he was targeted 4 times, caught all 4. It was more productive games as VA kind of works with his talent, but he's got the red-hot Damian Alford. Of course, don't forget Dominic Rhymes in that group.
In about half a yard, Quincy Vaughn, who was a game-time decision, in there to handle short yardage duties. This could be huge for Montreal's defense to push it ahead, and that should be enough for the Stampeders. Yeah, they got it. Let's take a look at this Montreal D.
So Preston Nichols, who at Purdue in his senior year played guard, not tackle, and has a yard off the ball against Eddie-Emi Berglund, who has 4 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles and fumble recoveries. See how that matchup shakes down. Robert Kennedy plays at the cover linebacker, the Sam spot. Deontay Ruffin will take his spot in the secondary. And there's Ento. Big interception against Toronto that sealed the deal.
Adams down the field, and that one was laying there for Ento. Could not get under it in time. He's got a team-high 3 on the season. Wobbled a bit on the way to Ento.
I think that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like it came out clean. See Darnell Sankey up there. Corey Robertson, I think, got his right hand on it.
So a 2nd and 10 for VA. 3 options out to his left. They're going to bring some pressure. He picks it up, steps around it, down the field, first down, just outside the 35. That's how you do it. Vernon Adams as he finds Rhymes.
Watch how he sidesteps the free rusher off the edge. I'll catch the number as he goes by because Vernon Adams makes a miss. Picks the wrong shoulder and cuts underneath, and Vernon Adams just bounces around him, and now it's one-on-ones, and he throws a strike, 24-yard gain to Rhymes over the middle.
Has been challenged on the far sideline by Jason Moss. Whether it was a catch or
Montreal
not.
is challenging the ruling on the field. The play will be reviewed.
And you know what? Right when that ball was caught, I saw VA look to his offense and say, let's go, let's go, let's go. Wanting to move quickly.
Well, let's see if he used the turf to assist in this catch or not.
All right, as they take a look at it, we will step away here in Calgary.
Got a chance to take a look at this catch or no catch by Dominic Rhymes over the middle. I thought live that he did make the catch. We'll see what the ruling is.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Montreal has no team challenges left and would be charged a team timeout.
Jason Moss now 1-4 on challenges this season.
Well, you know, I think Coach Moss probably saw from like their sidelines behind Rhymes here, and he saw it slide down towards his stomach, and then the pebbles in the turf kind of flew up in the air, and maybe that fooled him a little bit. But I thought he made the catch live.
On the ground again from the 40. Good initial bursts, and still going all the way up. First down and more. Look at this. That's an extra 15 yards moving the pile by that Calgary offense. And somewhere Dedrick Mills crawls out of there.
Dedrick Mills just pushed the pile, didn't he? Probably had some help from some teammates, but you mentioned off the top, the Stamps run the football successfully. They've done it well all season long. In fact, #1 in the league rushing the ball. Dedrick Mills ranks 2 in rushing yards, but this, as a team, they are first in the league at 130 yards per game against a good run defense.
Adams, far side, wide open. Alford catches it and goes down and immediately grabs his hammy. That is not good.
Oh, boy.
With the explosion that he has had so far this season, 7 yards on that one, and Alford will have to be looked at. Bad news for the Calgary Stampeders. Athletic therapist out to chat with the star rookie for Calgary. There's another look at it. Right down.
There's the outside and Damien Alford, and we've talked about his last couple of games. His last couple of games have been outstanding. 4 touchdowns in the last 2, and goes down on his own. Now he walked off. Looked like he was shaking it off, so hopefully it's not too bad.
And flags fly everywhere. Pre-snap this time.
Procedure. Calgary number 67. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Back. The Stampeders up slightly. 2nd and 8 for Adams, with Mills standing in to his right. Montreal sends for VA, has it deflected at the line, and it falls incomplete in front of Darnell Sankey.
Lawal Uguak, I believe, got to that one. That's the 2nd throw at the line of scrimmage that's been blocked. Clearly, this is a strategy by the Montreal defense, Noel Thorpe's group, that he's going to get the guys. Like, VA's been great at these throws. Get your hands up in the passing lane.
Ball bounces, taken just inside the 5. Great coverage downfield by the Stampeders, and the return goes nowhere. MBT will have the ball when we return on TSN. A lot of weapons in this Montreal offense, and last week it was Speaker who emerged as the true threat.
Yeah, 13 targets. Now, Davis Alexander started that game, was injured again, or re-injured the hamstring late in the game, but I think Jason Moss is very confident with McLeod Bethel-Thompson. He's got experience, he's a veteran, and he's got playmakers like Cole Speaker around him.
Career high for Speaker last week. MBT far side, and he goes back out near the 25. 2nd catch of the ball game for Austin Mack. This one goes for 15.
Last week, Austin Mack was back in the lineup, but he had just come off injury as well, so it usually takes a game or 2 for a player to settle back in, get rid of all the mental demons, and be back, you know, in his regular form. I think Austin Mack is showing early in this one that he might be there.
Adrian Green on the tackle. Fresh set of downs to the Montreal 24. MBT into the flats, finds Sneed, first time today. Sneed steps out of bounds. 2-yard pickup, short one for Tyler Sneed, who had just 3 catches last week, just shy of 40 yards. He's had some big games as well, though.
Yes, he has. We talked about the playmakers for this Montreal offense, but this is going to be their greatest challenge. I mean, this Calgary defense has been a huge story in the first third of the season, allowing just 7 touchdown drives in 6 games. That's great defense.
18.5 points allowed per game. Empty backfield here, setting up a screen. Far side of the field. Rambo takes it ahead. First down. He's popped, but he's got the first down. 10 yards just outside the 35, and MBT getting everybody involved early.
Looking outside to Rambo. They like to play the trips to the left side of the formation. That's just a wide receiver screen. Get it set up there, but you see who hustles over there? Miles Brown. That's why this defense is playing well. when first contact on a wide receiver screen is by the interior defensive tackle.
That's a big boy moving out there.
He's hustling.
Flea flicker. MBT dumps it back off. There is nothing downfield. So he goes to Sneed, who's taken down by Moncrief. But my heart fluttered when the flea flicker popped its head out.
Bob Slowick is the defensive coordinator of this group. You mentioned the 18.5 points a game. It's even less than that just against their defense. That's against their team. 7 touchdowns allowed in 6 games. That's first by a long shot in the CFL, and giving up 4 defensive touchdowns. So they're not only stopping teams, they're scoring on D.
Montreal needs 5 here. Deep drop. MBT near side. Speaker trying to reach ahead. Probably going to end up being about a yard shy.
Speaker, a little inside cut, little bang route. Look like you're going to go on a crosser, put the brakes on, and hope that Adrian Green flies on by. But got just enough to get it, well, get inches away from that first down.
Yeah, it's about half a yard, if that. Evans into the game. Short yardage situation. That forward progress gets them up. They needed the 46. Let's see where this ball is spotted, actually. From up here, it looked like he had just enough, but this will depend on the spot. That's going to be tight. That'll be enough. They got him.
Yeah, I think
first down.
he's well beyond. Those 2 games for McLeod Bethel Thompson, those 2 losses. One again against Hamilton, where he had a couple of interceptions in that one. He eliminated the interceptions in that second start against BC. As I mentioned, Lions came back in the dying seconds.
John Thomas Erlington pushing ahead. Miles Brown hooked on to him early and held on to take him down, holding him to just a 3-yard pickup on first down.
Think about it. I mean, McLeod Bethel Thompson, his football journey, just, you know, remarkable when you think of all the teams and the different leagues that he's played in and thousands of yards he's thrown for, different coordinators, but he loves this team and his head coach and Jason Moss. And as you heard in the pregame show, if you're watching that, he talked about how important this game would be to get a W for his coach.
Working against the best second down defense in the league right here. A lot of time. Now he's on the run. Out to his right.
Look out.
And that is intercepted on the near side. Guess who? It's Adrian Green. His 4th of the season. Steps inside and takes this one away from McLeod Bethel Thompson. Adrian Green, an absolute thief so far this season. Thank you very much. Calgary's defense does it again. Calgary's defense with another big takeaway, getting the ball back for this man, Vernon Adams Jr. How about the last 2 years? 5-1 start with BC last year, 5-1 this year. Let's send it down to Chantel Chan for more.
Yeah, Vernon Adams Jr. was 5-1 last year with BC as well, and just like last year, lots of MOP conversation is going around. I had a chance to talk to VA about his start so far this season, and he said, you know, there were some hard times in BC after he got injured and then benched. VA said mentally he does a good job and prides himself that no matter what he's going through, once he walks through those doors at 5:30 a.m., his mindset is fully there with his coaches and teammates. VA said the hard times in BC was being benched and everything that happened there, but he understands that it could be worse. He could have been cut or gotten injured, so he's just grateful to be here in Calgary with his teammates.
Hey, they're grateful to have him too. Takes the handoff, pressure in his face, gets it away, almost gave it right back. Lorenzo Burns just couldn't get underneath that one.
Well, and VA is, you know, he got that great perspective. It often comes too with getting another year older and getting that little bit more experience. You know, he is back in the conversation in the first third. We're starting to talk about it again. You kind of break the season into thirds, and after the first third, absolutely a front runner for MOP this year, the way he started. and the way this Calgary Stampeder team has started.
He's on pace for more than 6,000 yards last season. On the run to his left, there's a flag as he has a completion of Brooks. Brooks takes it down inside the 15. A flag came out as that catch was made. Would be 30 yards if it stands.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 9. That penalty is declined. First down.
And it will.
And here's the maturity we're talking about with Vernon Adams. He's going to have a crossing route here, but the crossing route's running into the danger area, so watch him make the split-second decision not to go to this crosser. He doesn't like it, don't like the crosser, hold on, pull it down, find that extra one, and Brooks also reacted to VA scrambling with a little scramble rule. Big play.
League high, 15th completion of 30 yards or more. Big play, VA indeed. This time he finds Philpott. Philpott broke one tackle, takes it down inside the 10. This Calgary offense, best in the league with 54 points off turnovers so far this season. Looking for more here.
Well, that's the other part of the equation. There's the turnover, and we always talk about the turnover battle, and the teams that win the turnover battle, the giveaway, takeaway, are often the teams that win. More than not, they're the teams that win. However, you got to score points off them too in the sudden change.
Seven on the line. They'll give it to Mills, cuts it down, trying to find the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Calgary. 6th of the season for Dedrick Mills. Stampeders strike first.
Super important for Dedrick Mills to keep his eyes straight ahead. Don't look to where you want to run to the backside B gap, or else you can tip off the defense and the linebackers. But that's a couple of runs now for Dedrick Mills, where the second effort gets him an extra 5 or 6, and in this case, got him across the goal line.
And the extra point is fired wide. That's a bit of a stunner. The veteran leg of Paredes.
Well, let's see the rookie at right tackle, and Preston Nichols, number 64. He's right at the point of attack, and you know there's a lot of people probably watching this matchup and how the rookie will play. How about this block on Tyrell Richards? He just blows a hole open for Dedrick Mills, and he's in the end zone by 8 yards. Big 64 leading the way at right tackle.
Dedrick Mills, second in the league in yards after contact, over 300 now, including this game. So when you get a piece of him, you're going to need to get the whole thing, or he will not be stopped. It's got to feel good for Nichols, though, eh? Gets in,
6'2",
start.
6'2", 290. Seems a little small.
He doesn't look small.
But when I look at him, I don't get small. That word does not come to my mind when I look at him. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to watch the matchup, especially when he's in pass pro and he's up against Eddie-Emi Berglund, because that's a veteran pass rusher against Nichols in his first start. So, but that was a great run block.
Tice on the return and takes it all the way back out. About the 35 for MBT.
Now Adrian Green out of St. Mary's, after that interception, his fourth, got sandwiched between McLeod Bethel Thompson and Rambo and was attended to in the tent. He's not back out there. Another great interception by Adrian Green. This is the interception. Watch at the end of this play. He's going to get sandwiched and went straight to the tent for evaluation.
Austin Mack, first down, Montreal. Ben LeBrosse into the game at corner in place of Adrian Green.
Ben LeBrosse has that quickness, closing speed, got some starts last year.
4th overall pick out of McGill in 24. Green just came out of the tent. By the way, Alford, who left in the game earlier, will be reassessed at halftime, if we've not yet passed that along. And Green seems to be moving okay.
Looking to find his helmet.
He is looking for his helmet, isn't he? Here they'll get it to Rambo on a quick toss. Takes it up to the 50. Jacob Roberts with some extra business after the whistle.
Been impressed with his quickness to the ball, just his want-to factor in Jacob Roberts. You know, a guy that played a little bit of Wake Forest and Carolina A&T, and newcomer again in this defense. A lot of new faces in this defense. Someone's got to tell them they're not supposed to be this good this early.
They don't want to hear it. 2nd and 7. Speaker again. Forced out of bounds by Anthony Johnson. And that will do it for first quarter action. Bit of a low-scoring affair, but should we be surprised? The best two defenses in the Canadian Football League engaging in battle here on Thursday Night Football from Calgary. The Stampeders lead 6-0. Calgary Stampeders leading 6-0 after the first quarter. Bad news is that they lost Damien Alford. He's on the sideline with an ice pack on his leg right now. The good news, though, is that they can hit you through the air or on the ground with a guy like Dedrick Mills.
Yeah, that's a couple of really entertaining runs for Dedrick Mills. He only has 28 yards rushing in that first quarter. I say only, but they were spectacular runs, really. We hope that Damien Alford is okay. He had the ice pack on his hamstring, non-contact injury in his first catch out of the gate in this game, but hopefully it's a cramp. They're being extra careful with it. He replaced Clark Barnes, who has a bit of an ankle, but I'm sure it won't be very long before he returns. But the word is that they will reassess Damien Alford at halftime.
3rd and inches. That's why you see Caleb Evans back in the game, looking to pick up first down right at midfield here for Montreal, and that will get the job done. A few extra yards for good measure takes it down to the Calgary 51.
But you made a good point out of the gate. I mean, these are the two top-ranked defenses in the league. Number 1 is Montreal. Number 2 is Calgary. Different types of defenses, and in Montreal's case, there is a lot going on, even for a veteran like Vernon Adams. In Calgary's case, to me, it's hustle, it's discipline, you know, and it's making those plays on the ball when it's in the air.
It's been a lot of through the air for Montreal so far. Little flea flicker here. Down the field, looking for Sneed, lays out and got it at the 10. Hauls it in on the pass from Caleb Evans, who stayed in the game after the short yardage. They execute the flea flicker perfectly.
How about this for Jason Moss in the playbook? You go in at short yardage for Caleb Evans, and on the second play, after they get the first down, he stays in, and the entire Calgary defense thinks, well, they're going to run some sort of running play because they've got their short yardage quarterback in there, and they run the flea flicker again. Fake run, toss back to Caleb Evans, 43-yard gain. Might have to dig into that playbook against this defense.
Adrian Green came back into the game. Now he's slowly walking off the field again, so not sure he's going to be able to continue. Montreal into the red zone, 53% so far this year inside the 20. 3 options out to the right for McLeod Bethel-Thompson. That's where he's going to throw. Finds Rambo. Rambo bounced off one man, then got absolutely crunched just inside the 5.
See the hustle? That's the hustle I'm talking about. Now the Alouettes get down the field on a bit of a trick play. They fool the Calgary defense, and on first down, just here comes the first hat, second hat. There's 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders around Rambo in case he breaks that first tackle.
Second and goal for Montreal. They'll hand it off.
Yes, sir.
Not going anywhere, in the hands of Tice, looking for his first CFL touchdown, but he was denied.
We talked to Jason Moss about this RPO type of play, and he feels comfortable with McLeod Bethel-Thompson running it. And if Bethel-Thompson pulls it here, he might have some. Because Derek Moncrief went with Austin Mack. McLeod Bethel-Thompson may have had a running lane. Easy to say after the fact, but that's a play that the quarterback makes the call.
Chip shot field goal attempt for Maltos. 10 yards, smokes it through, went 2 for 2 last week, and puts this one home as well. Points on the board for Montreal. Welcome back to Calgary, where history is being made tonight at McMahon Stadium. For the first time ever, we have an all-female CFL support crew on the sidelines. Now, with the Under-18 Women's National Championship here in Calgary this week, it's a perfect opportunity for them to get some CFL experience. Here's a list of tonight's support crew.
Right there at the bottom, Emily Clark, who has worked with their CFL officials for years, the leader of that group, and that's absolutely outstanding. A little history in the making here.
Cool to be a part of that tonight. Adams throwing, Tevin Jones catching it, and he'll take it out for a 5-yard pickup for the Stampeders.
You know, when you think about that, down on the 2-yard line, 3rd down, to me, the decision to kick that short field goal for Jason Moss was respect for the Calgary defense and what they've done in the first third of the season. And maybe what they did on 2nd down in stopping the run. And they decided, let's take the points. Got this deep into offensive territory. Let's take the points. Respect the Calgary D.
The first time that Montreal has trailed after the first quarter all season. Now here's a little bit of space. Philpott rumbles it down inside the 45. What a weapon that guy is.
Well, you can use them in so many things. The fly sweeps from one side of the formation. There's the fly sweep out right, and then watch how he just finds his way. And again, I see that lead blocker is Preston Nichols. Right tackle. Watch 64 get out here. He can move now. That's pretty good feet. See that? And you see that little spin that he did as he was going. He's not quite as quick as Philpott, but
imagine if he was.
Tell you what, that's good feet for a big man.
Wesley Sutton is down on the field for the Alouettes. We'll step away from McMahon. The contestants give it their all as they are pushed to the limit. The Amazing Race Canada, all new Tuesdays on CTV. And of course, stream it the next day on Crave. Calgary on top on the strength of a Dedrick Mills touchdown. And now they go looking for more from the Montreal 44. Mills directly in behind his quarterback, 6 on the offensive line. They will hand it off, and Mills, a good burst, pushes it out beyond the 40 before he's tackled by the big fella, Sean Oakman.
I just go back and take a look at Preston Nichols. Been a matchup that we've been watching. He's right at the bottom of the line here, and number 64. Another run play. This is when the fly sweep to Philpott. See that nice kick out block, and watch his footwork here as he spins around looking for somebody else. That's DB. That's DB-like footwork.
2nd and 5 for Adams. Tevin Jones again. First down, Calgary. Team leading 3rd catch of the game for Tevin Jones.
Thought it was interesting in our talk with VA this week that he basically talked to Coach Dickinson before the season about finding some big receivers. And they found Damian Alford and drafted him, and they found Tevin Jones and, you know, Dominic Rhymes. He's not a little guy either at 6'4". It was interesting that Vernon Adams said, you know why? Because if I miss high.
Don't get tall guys. Simple simple strategy. VA on the run to his right, dumps it over the top, down to the 5, end zone, touchdown Calgary. Adams to Rhymes, his second of the season.
Got an athletic quarterback, move the launch point, get him outside of pressure. He's had a couple knocked down. This is Vernon Adams making it up on his own, and then the scramble rules. If you got an intermediate or short route, you go deep. If you got a deep route, you come back to your quarterback. Those are the scramble rules for receivers. Dominic Rhymes plays it to a T.
That's one of those tall guys, didn't need to be there. Great timing and touch on that ball.
Absolutely.
From Vernon Adams on the run to drop it over his shoulder. Paredes, no mistake here, puts it straight through. And Calgary's lead sits at 10. Vernon Adams to Rhymes. Calgary in control early.
This isn't Dom Rhymes' first rodeo here in Calgary. The Stampede just over, and he's got a short curl route. Now he's got to, in the scramble rule, eventually get deep. So watch him move inside. He knows that if VA scrambles, okay, scramble rule, now I got to get deep. I got to be the deep guy because I had an intermediate curl. Now I've got to break that and get in behind coverage. He does. Vernon Adams knows exactly what he's going to do on the scramble.
Finished off a 5-play, 70-yard drive that took less than 3 minutes. Efficient offensive football from Calgary. Return up the near side by the newcomer, Lincoln Victor. Kyle Bethel-Thompson take to the field. He's 10 of 13 for 77 yards, but an interception.
And the biggest play for them offensively was Caleb Evans, when he threw that
42-yard flea flicker,
the flea flicker for 42, yeah.
They have not really attempted to run the ball much. Sean Thomas Erlington, just 2 carries. Tice had that one down at the goal line. They will run it here. Sean Thomas Erlington, that's his best pickup of the ball game, and it'll put them in a second and manageable situation.
Well, this is more suited to that pocket timing passer that McLeod Bethel-Thompson is, when he could, take the underneath stuff too and still keep the offense on the field.
Two to the right, 2 to the left for Bethel-Thompson. Far side, coming back to the ball. Rambo, first down, almost all the way up to midfield before they stop him.
That's what a good running game does for you. There's Rambo out on the outside. And it's only 5 for a first down. That's right where he makes his break, and then he can get some bonus yards after the catch.
Rambo with 4 catches already in this game. His season high is 5, so heavily involved tonight, more so than he has been the rest of the season. Near sideline, Mack goes up. Did he get a foot down? Yes. Great catch by Austin Mack.
Bethel-Thompson had to just get outside and wait a split second longer. There's the play action. Now he gets outside, gets the hips and the shoulder around, because Austin Mack has found a soft spot in the zone. In behind Derek Moncrief, who is the flat player, but in front of the deep outside third player, who was Anthony Johnson at the time.
Alouettes marching, looking for a response here. Sean Thomas Erlington on the run, has to stretch it out for the positive yards. Tice was eventually there to hold them to 4 and force them out of bounds.
Interesting, though, with the 2 different styles of defense. Bob Slowick's defense here in Calgary is really quite conventional. I mean, you've heard of the 43 defense, so that's 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. And, when you look at what Slowick's doing, it's really quite a simple formation. Very different than what Noel Thorpe does with his defense. And they're both top ranked.
Stamps just send the 4 again. MBT over the middle. Tackle made immediately. But a completion to Mack for a Montreal first down.
And what it does when you play sort of, I won't call it vanilla because they can do a lot of different things from this look, but you see the 4-3 look, 3 linebackers in behind, and what it's doing is it's making MBT earn every single first down he's going to get on the drive.
Jacob Roberts with the tackle out of Wake Forest. And this one is dropped by Speaker. We've seen them use that play a few times already in this game. Speaker, that one just nothing but a drop.
Yeah, he's out there at that wideout spot. You see the blockers getting ready to pick up the DBs. You get the point of attack look blocked up pretty nice there by Austin Mack.
Speaker took a peek, didn't he?
Speaker forgot the mail.
Yeah. Second and 10 here for MBT. Dumps it off. Sivasu takes it, cuts it inside. Another move all the way down, just outside the 5-yard line. Just his second catch of the season.
Yeah, Sivasu is in the fullback spot just to the left of McLeod Bethel Thompson, and there's only one possibility for a tackle here. He's got an escort out front. He's got a couple of linemen, and there is no other tacklers in the area. One shot with 2 blockers in front of him. Sivasu gets good yards. That's maybe their best offensive play.
Back into the red zone go the Alouettes. Had to settle for a chip shot field goal last time they were here. Far side, back to Speaker. Hangs on to it this time. Bounces off some traffic and finds the end zone. Touchdown, Cole Speaker. And the Alouettes find the end zone for the first time tonight.
Well, great time to respond. Feel like the game, it's early and there's lots of football to be played. There's actually a mistake made right there at the fake, but it didn't matter. The hitch was set up. Speaker gets it and does the rest on his own.
Third touchdown of the season for Speaker. That leads all Montreal receivers. Maltos to make it a 3-point game. That's what he does. 8 plays, 77 yards, just over 4 minutes is the response we just witnessed from the Alouettes.
How about the former Vanier Cup MVP at the University of Montreal and Regis Sivasu here with a big screen run to set up the touchdown. And then he is the point of attack blocker and does a great job. In fact, Speaker runs into him. He holds on to his guy, makes sure he can't make the tackle right at the point of attack and scores. Gets his teammate in the end zone.
98th career touchdown pass for McLeod Bethel Thompson as we're on 100 watch. Speaker, best game of his career last week. 129 yards, got targeted 13 times by Davis Alexander.
Well, Moss loves him. We talked to Jason Moss, asked him about Cole Speaker. He said, Cole Speaker can play every position out there. And he not only, fills in, but he can play any position and do it really well at a high level. When Philpott got hurt, he played his spot for a bit. He can play the inside or the outside. That kind of versatility coaches love. If you're listening and you're a young minor football player, do a lot of stuff.
Learn them all. Altos hammers it away. Big kick taken just inside the end zone.
Wow.
And Kalen Horton will give up a point Let's send it back down to the sidelines. Chantel Chan for more on KBN Ento.
Yeah, KBN Ento, he already has 3 interceptions so far this season. In his first year, he had 3 interceptions. I had a chance to talk to him about the adjustments he had to make when he came into the league. And he talked about it was a little bit difficult to go from 4-down football to 3-down football, but also the size of the field. And when head coach Jason Moss was asked, is Ento one of the best corners in the league? And he said, quote, I'm not going to argue that, end quote. Ento also talked about the confidence right now that he's playing with along with the defense. He said, listen, the defense, we want to score just as much as the offense does. Yeah, our offense has great receivers and backs, but we want to score first. Dustin?
Thank you very much. He's become a big-time playmaker in that Montreal defense.
Well, at Colorado, and when he was in
Card
college,
count, Calgary, it's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Colorado in college, he was receiver. And, you know, we've seen many times when you look at bios that DBs have converted from receiver coming out of high school. You know, they're coming out of high school, they're a receiver, or played both ways in high school. And then they become DBs in college, or receivers in college. But it's rare to see a guy be a receiver in college and then transition in the pros to DB.
First and 15, Adams on the roll to his right, throws it in the direction of Tevin Jones, but he couldn't get there.
And, you know, as a receiver, Colorado, in his college days, his first 2 plays as a receiver, touchdowns. Like an over a 40-yarder where he's breaking tackles, and then a quick 19-yarder in his first 2 touches in college as a receiver. So, you know, that can really help him in pattern reading and what a receiver is trying to do to get open when you're now playing corner.
Second and long for Adams. That's deflected and falls incomplete as the Montreal defense continuing to get their arms up and causing some issues for Vernon Adams. And that is the first 2 and out of this ball game.
Well, and this defense believes. I mean, remember, they were down by 18 to the Toronto Argonauts. Defense got some stops. Another knockdown. That's 3. 3 times in this game already. The Montreal D-line has got their hands on the ball.
Adiemi Berglund on that one. First punt of the game is a towering one from Bassett. Whoa. It is bobbled, but recovered, held on to, and then it's Tevin Jones down the field for the tackle on Lincoln Victor. Tevin Jones can do a little bit of everything for you, too.
Yeah, well, the 5-yard rule just saved Victor here. Because of the 5-yard rule, Onyeka wasn't quite there, neither was Tevin Jones. He had to wait the 5 when it hit him. And that saved him from a turnover down in plus territory.
Lincoln Victor is at Hawaii, finished at Washington State with Ottawa last season. Cut this year. Finds himself now in Montreal. He'll hand it off to Tice. Calgary's defense stymies him once again, being thrown back by Hutchins.
Different looking formation here where you've got David Delar right up here, the fullback, and there's Tice, the tailback. You bring in Tyler Sneed for some blocking help inside, and Austin Mack. It's almost like a short yardage formation with receivers and running backs.
Didn't go anywhere, so it's 2nd and 10. Calgary just sends 4 this time. MBT, far side, and it's held on to by Tice. Moncrief was right there. They'll actually take a loss, and we'll have to kick it away. That'll be their first 2 and out of the ball game after the 3-yard loss.
Good push down the middle by Jalen Hutchings to put some pressure on McLeod Bethel-Thompson there and get in his face. And because they did that, they had a wide open receiver and couldn't find him.
We've hit 3 minutes in Calgary.
We got a great little halftime coming up. Milt, who are we talking about?
VA.
This is all he does during the game, to be quite honest. Shout out to Art, the cameraman, by the way. He just ran in and did this with 5 seconds to go.
Big
Artie!
Art. Big Art.
Artie!
Yeah, shout out Art. Good job getting in there, man. Save the day. Zima on his 10. Kalen Horton waiting for this kick. He's going to take a couple steps over to his left. Corrals it after a 54-yard kick just inside the 35. Trying to find some room. And eventually, as he cut back in, he's tracked down from behind. There's a flag on the return. Sibasu, I think, with the tackle on special teams there as well.
VA, VA. That's what they're
That's
chanting.
what they were chanting.
That's what they're chanting back there. Easy guy to cheer for, isn't it? Get a chance to talk to him whenever we're doing a game. And
Unnecessary roughness, blindside block. Calgary number 45. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Reese Blackwell, the guilty party.
Just the perspective that VA brings now is refreshing. And I asked him, it seems like every quarterback throws interceptions, and I agree. I think it was Jez or might have been Milt that said in the pregame show that if VA has a bad game, and he's not having a bad game right now, but if he ever does in the future, so what? He is proven now he's elite. So all that other talk about good and bad VA can disappear now.
Fourth penalty game for Calgary. They averaged 5.8 on the season, so a little bit high so far in this one. And that falls incomplete in the direction of the returner, Kalen Horton. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers currently joining us on TSN 3. Just to bring you up to speed. As you can see, Calgary leads 13-11. And you got here just before the end of the half, which is good news for you. You'll catch halftime. That's coming up. 2nd and 10 from the 31. VA looks to his left. A ton of time here. Finally, deep shot down the field. Almost intercepted. Philpott turned into a defender there and knocked it away from Dequoy.
Marc-Antoine Dequoy is looking for his first interception of the campaign. He's a guy that is a ball hawk back there and has been throughout his career, playmaker. Now, he did get an excellent pressure against Toronto at the end of that game to force the Ento interception that really sealed the deal. He had it there, but Philpott turned into DB, didn't he?
Got a hand in there to poke it away. Back-to-back 2-and-outs for the Stampeders. Lincoln Victor, far side, can't get there. What a tackle by Thomas. Had 5 special teams tackles on the season coming into this one.
Keelan Thomas is not a little guy either. I mean, he's coming down there, and I thought there is no way he's going to get the angle. He is 240 pounds. And I thought little Victor was going to get outside him, and there was some space over there. That is a great special teams tackle to extend and get there. Show some quickness for a big man at 240.
Victor was probably thinking the same thing. Oh, this big guy, I got him.
I got him. I got the corner. I got the edge here. Thomas tracked him down. Nice tackle.
Couple of minutes left to work in the half for McLeod Bethel-Thompson. The Alouettes maybe find the lead. Pressure. MBT trying to hang on to the ball. Was it just stripped away? Orimolade comes away with it. The officials. It's a sack. And that's it.
He's in that 2-point stance. What a bull rush off the edge, and just collapses his man into MBT and then takes the ball. I don't know, when you look live, it looked like he was down.
Big loss, though.
Well, challenge maybe happening here.
Penalty flag. I think there's early movement here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that first flag came right from around Dave Dickinson. But it looked like MBT. He was trying to pull at it. Remilade. We'll take a look at it real quick again while we have a chance. Remilade off the edge. Look at him just bull rush. Nick Callender back into MBT. And
procedure.
Yeah, I think
Montreal number 61. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
He's down by contact there before the ball comes out.
Now they're back way up. Second and 22. Thomas Erlington in the game and running back. That's where they go on the draw. Made a couple of moves, but Kyle Wilson read it well. Took him down, and now some flags for some extracurriculars after the whistle.
I had a good talk with Jason Moss about this kind of thing. He says that he shows penalties taken after or before the whistle to the entire team each week. It talks about how important it is to be on the right side.
15-yard misconduct fouls. Calgary number 93, Montreal number 3.
And, you know, when that stuff happens, I think the officials do the right thing by doing
Correction,
that.
Calgary 9, Montreal number 3.
And Charles Wiley went, wait a minute, I didn't do anything.
It's not me. He doesn't want to get singled out.
They got to change the number up, but you know, offsetting penalties and stuff like that, I think is a good idea. And for the officials to go in and warn the guys, look, I know it's getting hot. It's a one-possession game. Calm down, and we're going to start throwing the flags for that stuff.
Third and 18. Zima. No choice here for Montreal but to kick it away. This will hang up there. 60-yard kick. Horton takes it. Around the 20, about a 10-yard return.
We were talking to Jason Moss about sort of the formula to win, and you know, when he's done his research and has all the experience that he has as a quarterback and a coach, he said, you know, penalties and that turnover battle. The turnover battle and being low on penalties. These two teams are the best two teams in the league when it comes to fewest penalty yards per game. Don't give any free stuff to the opponent. It's too much of a razor's edge between winning and losing. And he knows better than anybody in those two one-point games the last 2 weeks.
And off to Mills. Here's more from Jason Moss.
The teams that get to the Grey Cup, or at least are in the top of their division, have great turnover margin and great penalty average. And right now, Calgary's, you know, right up there, and so are we. And, you know, I just think that's a very important thing, but it has to be coached and has to be cared for all the time by everybody on the team. And, you know, I know they've done a great job of it up to this point, and so are we. We're right behind them in the penalty department. It's very close. It's a half a play. And we talk a lot about one play can decide a game or 6 plays can decide a game. Well, that half a play matters. And so in this game, we got to be more disciplined then.
You know, I bring up the Pierre-Olivier Lestage penalty 2 games ago from Montreal, which was, you know, a questionable call, a push in the back, whatever. You can have your own opinion on whether it should have been thrown or not. But Jason Moss talked about how he dealt with it. He said whenever there's penalties like that, he's going to address his team. And he is going to tell them the importance of being disciplined. And the next game out, Lestage had a 99% rating. They're grading all the guys, and he couldn't get much better in the very next game, showing great discipline and leading by example.
This penalty's going to hurt because it's going to be a first down for Calgary.
Montreal number 24. That's a 5-yard penalty. Results of first down.
That is Dequoy, the veteran all-star.
Now, that, and I'm not defending Dequoy, but that's a different type of penalty. The in-game penalty, the holding or the offsides, those ones are going to happen. You don't want them to, obviously, but they're going to. It's the after-curricular stuff that he was talking about.
Oh, can Calgary make them pay with 64 seconds left? Adams taken down incomplete. That is 6 straight incompletions from Vernon Adams Jr. Let's take a look at this penalty.
Well, let's take a look at the penalty. Quaz down here at the bottom. That's exactly where he was when he made the play against Toronto on the blitz, and he sort of tried to anticipate the snap count, jumped into the neutral zone, and 2nd and long. See if he can make amends here.
Since that second touchdown pass, or since his touchdown pass, Adams does not have a completion. He'll look to change that right here. Steps up in the pocket. There's a flag. He throws it deep, far sideline. Tevin Jones somehow comes down with it. It said incomplete. And a flag back by Vernon Adams.
A few things to sort out. Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Well, Vernon Adams has had to He's had to negotiate that pocket a few times now and had a few blocked. I think Tevin, well, he must have been out of bounds.
Here's the official.
There are 2 penalties on the play. They will offset. Calgary, illegal block hands to the face. Montreal, illegal contact on a receiver. 2nd down repeated.
So after all that, we'll just do it again.
Not sure where the illegal contact was. Tevin Jones, if it was on him, it would have turned into PI because the ball was thrown to him. So it must have been away from the play, but no number was given there. So
Montreal shows pressure, a lot of it. We'll see if they back off. Jones broken up. Ento was right there, got a hand on it.
that's what I talk about the difference. Remember the 34 look in the Calgary defense? This was a everyone on the line of scrimmage look. The DBs know that the quarterback, when you're playing everyone on the line, is thinking hot route. Got to get it out because you can't block them all. And the DBs like Ento can then jump those quick slants, but are susceptible to a double move if VA can scramble and buy some
and
time.
No help.
And no help.
Situation.
Zero help.
Bassett. Kick to the far sideline. That bounces all the way back up. Boshaman is able to get on top of it for the Alouettes. 35 seconds left.
Feels like it's been a bit of a long final 3 minutes of the half.
I think I jinxed it when I said that's the first 2 and out. There's only 4 minutes left. It's been a tough stretch for VA. He doesn't have a completion since the touchdown.
No yards. Calgary number 42. That's a 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Wow. But look at this, 15-yard penalty. And you can attempt a field goal from here if you had to, but still some time to move this closer.
Yeah, time for at least 2, maybe 3 plays. So
after the kick and the penalty, it's only a difference of 6 yards from where Calgary had the ball.
And I bet both coaches are going to remind them about the penalties.
On the ground. Haven't seen much of this tonight, but that's a good one. That's their best pickup on the ground in this game, 8 yards.
So we just say and show you a board showing how they're the 2 most disciplined penalty teams in the league when it comes to penalties, and that they are lowest in average yards and penalties per game. And then they go ahead and get 12 penalties combined in the first half. And then we talk about VA's start to the season. And then he doesn't complete a pass for how many in a row?
He's 8 of 18 right now, which is well below his season averages. MBT, and out on the far side, Speakers got it. That's a 1st down for the Alouettes. 10 on the clock.
Well, you can take a shot, but you don't want to waste the opportunity here to get 3 at least. Take a shot. You certainly don't want to lose the opportunity if you don't complete this. I don't know.
They will be throwing as the clock ticks. MBT is going to take off. He's tracked down from behind, got him a few more yards, and with 4 seconds on the clock, Montreal will have a chance to head to the dressing room with the lead.
Well, it's not like they haven't been any close ones over the last couple of weeks, Montreal, and it's not like they're not used to coming back from being behind on the scoreboard, down by 18 in 2 games this year, and came back.
Back-to-back one-point games in the last couple weeks. One a win, one a loss. Calgary, all 5 of their wins have been by double digits. Altos puts it up, and that one is through. And the Montreal Alouettes grind out a 1-point lead at the half here in Calgary. A huge game last week for Cole Speaker, and he's found the end zone again here this evening.
Yeah, a real nice drive by McLeod Bethel-Thompson in this second quarter, and it was good timing too because the Stamps had just scored. It was a 2-possession game, and then he went to work, got Cole Speaker involved. He gets into the end zone on this after the Sivasu play on the screen. That tightened the score, and then they, with that field goal, take the lead.
Career game last week for Speaker. Touchdown in 2 straight, and he's standing by with Chantel Chen.
Cole, you already got a touchdown in this game. What did you see on that drive, and walk me through that touchdown?
Yeah, there was this great blocking on the perimeter. We had a little screen going on, and I think it was Sneed and AMAC were blocking. They had 2 great blocks. I kind of ran into their backs. I spun out of it. I was able to see the end zone. I just had to burst and accelerate to get there. Great play calling.
You guys take the lead heading into the half. What's going to be the difference in the second half?
Yeah, that was a huge drive at the end to get the momentum, and got the lead. Now we just got to come out the second half and win the second half, and we got the game.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Let's get you back to Kate Burness and the rest of the CFL panel.
Chantel, the rest of that CFL panel is Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, and Milt Stiegel. You can't really ask for much better than a 1-point game at half, can you? And let's start with McLeod Bethel-Thompson. We spoke about him so much in the pregame and just really needing to bounce back from those 2 games previous where he just wasn't himself. We knew he could play better. This first half was fantastic. He has 153 yards. He's got the 1 TD. He really settled down in different situations, but just a really nice, complete half for him.
He was excellent. And on second down, he was great, which is obviously key. Almost 15% there on second down. And for Macbeth, the one mistake he made, and which is, I'm okay if I'm Jason Moss and I look at Macbeth's performance because he wasn't fooled. He knew exactly what he saw. He just made this terrible throw, which that happens sometimes. The ball just doesn't come out clean, and that was a mistake. But I knew when I heard Macbeth this week talking about this game, you knew he would come dialed in, and it's been that way in the first half. If they win this game, they move to 5-2. If they lose, 4-3 is a whole different story when you look at what they have over the next 5 weeks. This is all West right now. They got Calgary, then they got Sask, then Edmonton, BC, Winnipeg until the bye. The Alouettes, there's no question. I know you're not supposed to look ahead, but there's no question this team understands what they have up ahead of them and how important this game is. And I think, in the words of my man Enoch, they have a chip on their shoulder because they understand that everyone's counting them out or, oh, no, our starting quarterback is gone. They're way more than just Davis Alexander. And I think these guys in this team, as good as they've been, are seeing that and kind of rallying around that.
They definitely are more, Chaz. They have a defense that has been one of their foundations the last couple of years. You look at this team right now, they haven't had any sacks recorded tonight, but they put a lot of pressure on Vernon Adams. You saw him running out of the pocket a few times, but what I love seeing is in the middle. You got a 6'8" Sean Oakman, 6'4" Uguap, who get their hands on footballs. They did it a couple of times, and very close. They had a couple of DBs right here. You see opportunities for interception. They were really close there, but Marc-Antoine Duquois and Ento as well were really close to those interceptions. If you listen to Jason Moss, what he was talking about in that interview, he was talking about the teams that make it to the Grey Cup. They have to have good turnover margin and low penalties. Right now, they haven't gotten their hands on the ball as far as interception is concerned for this defense, but they're getting really close. And penalties, you look at the difference, 4 penalties for 35 for Montreal and 7 for 71. They're on the right track right now. I'm looking for Northrop to heat up Vernon Adams a little bit more and make good on those.
Yeah, agreed. You know what? VA's been good. I mean, he's not been as good as we've seen him in, obviously, games past. 116, 1 TD. I mean, he hasn't hurt the team, but just like, especially there's been no momentum at the end of that half for sure. But, I mean, we can see some adjustments being made in the second half for him.
Yeah, without a doubt, as you mentioned, Montreal, that defense kind of settled down in that latter part of that second quarter, and they pretty much shut out VA. But early on, he was really on one. And VA has been in the league for 9 years, but you can see him still maturing. You can see him being able to not having to take off and use his legs. You can see him getting out of the pocket and looking down the field and making plays with his arms. In years past, VA would have took off on that play. He would have tried to use his legs instead of settling down and realizing that he has guys downfield can make plays. Another play right here. He gets flushed out of the pocket, but he keeps his eyes down the field. So that is VA still maturing. Yes, as I mentioned, he's in his 9th year. He has athletic ability. We know he can run, but he also realizes what's going to get his team to a championship, and that's him being a quarterback, throwing the ball. Of course, they still want him to run the ball, but when he can make plays like that, not turn the ball over with that defense, they have a great opportunity to win some games.
It's also going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they're going to do, especially going forward with the loss of Damon Alford right now, and how they're going to change the way that they attack this defense, especially like we talked about pregame. VA likes that long ball, especially with Damon Alford, right?
Yeah. If you think that Northrop decides to heat them up a little more in the second half?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You talk about that play right there where VA stepped up. Very cool, calm, and collected in the face of pressure. He steps up. He finds a way to make a throw down the field.
Right.
But I'm thinking Northrop is coming right back to that same play so that the play can be made in the backfield.
This is where they have to get Mills involved. He has 5 carries for 39 yards. He needs at least 10, 15 carries this second half.
No, I agree. And after that first touchdown, he was running. I mean, that was a man on a mission in that touchdown, so we'll see how they use him in the second half of this one. Meanwhile, coming up after the break, there's a change in quarterback in Edmonton. We'll chat it coming up.
They'll give it to Mills, cuts it down, trying to find the end zone. Touchdown, Calgary. Lead flicker here. Lays out and got it on the pass from Caleb Evans. Dumps it over the top. Touchdown, Adams to Rhymes. To Speaker. Bounces off some traffic and finds the end zone.
The Elks have named Cody Fajardo their starter for Friday's game against the Rough Riders. He replaces Trey Ford after the Canadian threw for just 34 yards and a pick in week number 6. Elks are 1-4 to start the season with Ford under center and minimal action this season. Fajardo 9 for 11 with 107 yards and a touchdown. So Cody now goes into Regina as the starter. Look, you could go either way on this decision, Enoch, but at the end of the day, the 34 yards, we know he's athletic, but it's just not being able to have a lot of those deep passes or read defenses right now, and the decision had to be made by Mark Killam.
Yeah, I don't love it personally. I feel like he should have had a little bit more time, and only for the simple fact that you committed to him, you gave him the contract, and you told him at the beginning of the season that this is going to be his team, and now that you get into the season and things like this happen, you knew what he was. You knew who he was when the season started, and now you're changing decisions. And so to me, I say you go through the growing pains and you leave them and let them be. However, this is a decision that they've made and they have to live with it now.
I mean, look, I'm going to say this, and I know we don't have all that much time to flesh this one out, but I will mention, look at last year and look at the offensive minds that were in Edmonton looking at the quarterback play. G. Simon, Jarius Jackson. Those guys have been around this league an awful long time. They obviously saw all the great special plays that you saw from Trey, that we all saw. They weren't going to make the playoffs. You don't think there was a reason why that they were going with Cody Fajardo? There was a reason why. Or, no, Macbeth at the time. The reason why they're going Macbeth. So that to me, that just showed something. And I just think those who look back on now saw something. It doesn't mean Trey can't be great. Just means that he wasn't ready then and he's not ready now.
Agree with this decision 100%. You can't think about what the future holds. This team needs to win right now, and Cody Fajardo gives them the best chance. They can't be thinking about next year or next week. They got to win right now.
How much of a chance, Mill? Are they going to playoff this year?
They're 1-4, Enoch. They got the worst offense in the CFL.
In the West
well, they're going to find out now.
Yeah,
they're going to find out.
Too many teams. Calgary, BC.
They're going to find out now.
Winnipeg? I don't think so.
So you don't think they have a better opportunity now with Cody?
I mean, they might win tonight, but not the playoffs. I don't know about the playoffs.
They're worrying about right now, Enoch. That's what they're concerned with right now. They're not thinking about the playoffs.
They're not winning.
By the way, did anyone's phone go off? Did Siri just say, sorry, I don't understand? Was Siri chiming in there saying that she doesn't understand
Siri doesn't agree with Milt. I don't even know who Siri is.
Everyone yelling. Of course you don't know who Siri is. Oh, it's not a rotary phone.
Welcome back to Calgary. For just the second time this season, the Stampeders trail at the half.
Good second quarter by MBT, 195 yards passing. I agree with the panel. Get it to Dedrick Mills, 61 yards rushing for Calgary. That'll settle down VA.
Dedrick Mills standing by with Chantel Chand.
I feel like you guys have had quite the balanced offense so far in the first half. 161 in the air, over 60 on the ground. Your thoughts on the offense's performance so far in the first half?
I mean, I think we're doing a pretty decent job. We just got to get back on track and, just get back to our game and come out here and just put up points on the board.
1-point game. What was the message from Coach at the half?
I mean, just come out here and be us, stop kicking ourselves in the butt and just come out here and just play all game and just get back on schedule and come out here and just do what we know how to do.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, you might want to just get the ball to Mills a little bit more. He only had 5 touches in the first half.
Stop kicking ourselves in the butt.
This game.
I like that.
Good strategy, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's how Dickinson said it? Let's stop kicking ourselves in the butt.
Yeah, in the bottom.
Yeah, probably not, but that was TV safe. Montreal will kick the ball away to start the second half. They lead by 1. They are 3-1 when leading going into the second half so far this season. Kalen Horton, one of 2 men waiting back to return the kick that'll get us started on a beautiful Thursday night here in Calgary. Second half underway. Horton takes it just inside the 10. Stopped just shy of the 30 in his tracks, and a flag to start the half. Right at the end of it.
Well, it was addressed. You know that both coaches mentioned it after, what was it, 12 or 13 penalties in the first half. So it looks like it's going against Montreal.
Unnecessary roughness, Montreal number 93. That's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
MJ Sherman right at the end, looking for number 93. Look to your left and cruising the pile.
Drive will start on the 45 for Vernon Adams. They will give it to Mills, and he is going to push it ahead. Looks like close to 6 for Mills, averaging just over 5 so far this year. I think when Mills is going, that's when their offense can really fire on all cylinders. And they started with him in the first quarter, but kind of went away from it late in the second half, or late in the second quarter.
And struggled getting traction offensively in the second quarter.
Looking for 4 more here on a second down. Adams, far side. He'll have the first down. Finds Brooks. Brooks with a good burst and takes it down inside the 45. That's his second catch of the ball game. He's got 2 catches for 45 yards.
There he is on the outside. Just going to, in the middle of that trips, quick out. And if you get success on first down with a 6-yard carry from your running back, that play is a big play because it turns into 15 yards.
4 receivers out to the wide side left for Adams here. Now they'll bring him inside to help protect and block, and it works as Mills takes it ahead. At least 8 on that drive.
Leading rusher in the league right now is James Butler with the BC Lions. Dedrick Mills is in that number 2 spot coming in. And you see the extra game played. So you're really wanting to look at average rushing yards per game as well as these stats, just the overall numbers and who's in first. But Dedrick Mills still looking for that 100-yard game, although 3 of his games have been over 90.
He's been close.
Yeah.
Back to him again, straight ahead, first down. Takes it all the way to the Montreal 30. Seems like we simplified it coming out of the half, but we said give this guy the ball a little bit more. He's already got 3 touches.
Well, and it helps a young tackle, too. You know, when you have a young tackle up on the offensive line and you're running the ball, he just goes and finds somebody to hit. Even if it's the wrong guy, it doesn't matter when you're run blocking. Well, it does matter, but go and hit somebody if you don't know where you're supposed to go as a young guy.
Tevin Jones at the bottom of your screen. VA pulls it this time on the run to his right. Wide open. Down inside the 10. He finds Kalen Horton. Thrust into more playing time with the injury to Damien Alford.
I think it's Uguak who is going to be influenced by the few running plays by Mills in this second half. Watch the angle he takes, and that's why VA can get out and around him. If he is going to play pass here, he doesn't have to mess with Philpott there. He stays wide, and he cuts VA from getting outside and has to throw it through the D lineman. This time, he does get it outside in the free lane, and easy throw and catch.
Second trip to the red zone today for Calgary. It'll be first and goal from the Montreal 9. Mills stands in behind VA. They'll give it to him. Far side. Mills barreling his way towards the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Dedrick Mills. Would not be stopped on this drive.
Well, it's the inspiration that 26 is bringing too, and he did it in the first half, but he just didn't do it enough. He had a couple of carries, and in those carries, he got his teammates fired up, even the guys on the bench that are watching, that are on defense or special teams. When the guy's breaking 4 or 5 tackles and moving the pile 6 yards, that gets the whole team jacked. Another exciting run. Maybe Kate made a call to Dave Dickinson, because I heard her say it immediately on the panel, saying, hey, well, isn't Dedrick Mills? He had some real exciting runs in that first half. Went right to him.
7th touchdown of the year for Mills. They will go for 2. Adams looking to the end zone, turning around and hauling it in. Brooks gets it done. Back on top by 7. What you gonna do when Dedrick Mills runs wild on you?
Let's call it the Kate Burness drive, because she asked for Dedrick Mills. She got Dedrick Mills. It started out with a little throw to the outside, but it was Mills for 29 yards on this drive for a touchdown for Calgary. Remember, he only had 39 yards in the first half in 2 quarters, and in 1 drive he had 29. So they were listening to the panel. And there's your 2-point convert to make it a 7-point game.
4 carries on that drive for Mills after just 5 in the opening half. Victor on the return. Spin move upended just outside the 30. So a 6-play, 65-yard drive to start the half for Calgary to retake the lead. MBT, pretty good first half, 17-21. 153, touchdown, interception. By the way, Adrian Green, who had that interception, Chantel has told us Adrian Green will not return to the game. Damien Alford officially will not return to the game. Calgary will have to find a way without 2 of their biggest stars. John Thomas Erlington on the ground. A little bit of a hurdle before Rimolade wraps him up, takes him down.
You know, another guy that inspires when he runs. I mean, you know, it's one thing to, you know, get 4 or 5 from your running back on first down. It's another win when he does it the hard way, because the team gets fired up and you start to get some D linemen on their heels a little bit. Check and run first before they get in their pass rush mode, and that gives your quarterback an extra second.
Montreal's offense looking for a couple more here. Back on the ground again. And Thomas Erlington will be stopped about a yard short. And it'll be 3rd and 1.
Looks like this is a full yard too.
No hesitation. Evans into the game.
Now, he stayed in for 2 plays on short yardage in the first half.
What did he give us? The flea flicker.
Flea flicker for 42 on that first down after his short yardage play.
3rd time in the game that they've gone for it. On 3rd down. Evans trying to push ahead. Oh, boy. Maybe that last effort, but I'm not sure. It was definitely not. Oh, no. Oh, they're going to call it a 1st down. I thought it was a little bit closer than that.
Well, they have been close. There's been a few of them close in this game, and a few close all year when we look at these short yardage plays. And here, here's just a kind of wishful thinking to all offensive coordinators listening. Let's at times take a little bit of a gamble. Maybe not deep in your own end. Take a bit of a gamble in short yardage. One time go that you're going to fake it up into the line, drop back, and throw a deep ball. And yes, it could be incomplete and you give up on a set of downs, but this load everybody in the line of scrimmage and push your quarterback forward cost the team down the road at some point. You do it once and everybody has to game plan against it.
Keep you on your toes. Thomas Erlington is down here, and we will step aside from McMahon. Well, get ready for the Women's Euro Finals. England goes up against Spain. Tune in Sunday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on TSN and CTV as that great event comes to a close. Travis Tice in the game at running back. Bouncing around from left to right next to BT. Neville Thompson hit as he throws down the field, looking for Rambo, but it falls incomplete. Miles Brown in the face of the quarterback of the Alouettes.
Good push up the middle. I've seen a couple of times. Either it's Miles Brown or Jalen Hutchings who's got the good push, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson late in the first half had a wide open receiver on a busted coverage but couldn't throw it because of Hutchings in his face. That time he couldn't throw it accurately because Miles Brown was right in his kitchen.
Zima called into work again, averaging just under 47 yards per punt this season. This is taken by Brooks on the return. Sidestep one man and then is taken down just outside the 30. That's his first return of the ball game. And look at that shot. Like we said, beautiful Thursday night in Calgary. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary, where we were hoping to see the two brothers go head-to-head. Unfortunately, Suits didn't get it again.
It's too bad, yeah. Tyson Philpott, Jalen Philpott have had 6 opportunities to go head-to-head, and only once has it ever happened because of injuries for both guys. Jalen has been more banged up than Tyson, but is healthy this year, knock on wood.
Adams, pump fake, now he goes in that direction, right into the hands of Philpott, who lowers his shoulders and takes it ahead.
But I loved the Milt interview where he was talking with both Jalen and Tyson, and he asked the same question to both. What do you want to achieve at the end of the season? They said, outstanding Canadian. Both of them, without hesitation, said the exact same answer.
good to have goals.
Yeah.
They're both capable of it if they can stay healthy.
Absolutely. They can stay out there and stay healthy. Jalen's leading his team. A couple of categories.
Quincy Vaughn, short yardage for the Stampeders. Just throw a little bit of space and he's got it.
Just throw one. I mean, that was even second down.
But this was second. You're right. This was second down.
I mean, that was even second down.
Yeah.
Still have a chance if it's incomplete.
He played quarterback a lot of these guys are quarterbacks. He played quarterback for a couple of years in college. Now he's kind of like a hybrid tight end, fullback, short yardage quarterback here in Calgary. Was questionable coming into this game, but
I've asked a couple coaches about that, and they say, you know, when you look at the success percentage on short yardage as it is now, it's very high. And it's hard to, you know,
it's hard to justify not going with
exactly.
It.
Just conventional wisdom, get the first and move on.
DA, pressure in his face, gets it away, coming back to the ball, making the catch was Brooks, and he'll be a couple yards short of a Calgary first down.
Probably more targets for him with Damian Alford out of the lineup for the rest of this game anyway. And pretty nice curl coming back to the football. And the key on that route is to make sure that you get the DB, in this case Burns, to open up and turn, feeling like you're going to go deep.
Brooks leads the team with 4 catches on 4 targets. Ties his season high. Tevin Jones will swoop around over to the right and out into the flat. They'll hand it off to Mills. Had to work hard, but he's very close to picking up another Calgary first down. Boy, the Alouettes tried to hang on to him, didn't they?
Good second effort.
Maybe just short.
But they'll definitely be in that short yardage range again for Quincy Vaughn if they don't have it.
They're going to measure it. This is...
You thought they should have measured the last one.
I thought the other one was signaled first down too quickly. I thought they were going to measure that one. This one from up here doesn't look like they're going to get it. I could be way off, but I don't know about this. I mean, you can tell right now.
There's too much slack in that line. When that happens, when all that slack is in the line, you're losing your coho.
I'm telling you.
You got to keep that tip up. Keep your rod.
Is that the key?
Oh, yeah. Keep that line tight. You get slack like that, he'll jump and throw the hook immediately.
So 3rd and inches. Vaughn again. They don't need much. That's a first down for Calgary as they work the ball up to midfield here with a 7-point lead in the 3rd quarter.
Just look at this detailed attention. Look at all the defenders just locked into this one little thing right here. Okay, it's like you get a receiver out in a hurry. Dequoy is chasing. He's going to have to chase from behind to try and catch a receiver. Fake like you're going in, drop out of there, and throw a deep ball.
That might have been the most arrows I've ever seen you use on the telestrator. That was
new record.
You fit them all in. That was good. Philpott takes the handoff. Found the edge. Broke a tackle. Still going. Gets away down to the 20. Finally the 15, but there's a flag back at the 45.
Flag came out late, which would indicate it's probably an illegal block of some kind against Calgary. I'm just wondering when it happened.
Calgary number 15. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Well, that's Dom Rhymes, one of his fellow receivers.
That's Rhymes right there. And it was at the point of attack. That's Beverett. Yeah, there's no question that's a penalty. I mean, at some point, the first contact and the hands around the outside probably get away with, but as soon as he turned Beverett, and then pulled him down with him, that's where the flag comes up.
Lost yards plus the penalty, about 56-yard difference. Big swing. VA 1st and 20. Lays it out there. Rhymes has it. He's got a first down. They get it back inside the 45. Third catch of the game for Rhymes.
And how about the maturity of VA just saying, okay, Dom Rhymes, don't worry about that last one. You got a hold, and I'll just sit back in this pocket and put one right on you on that deep out. That's a hard throw to make. If you're behind on that throw, Wesley Sutton's going the other way. Nice 23-yard gain. Got the penalty yards back and a new set.
Adams tucks it into the belly of Mills. Ball pops out. Alouettes are on it. Is that Darnell Sankey recovering the Mills fumble? It is.
Trying to find the number here of the DB that stripped it. I think Darnell Sankey recovers it.
Well, it looked like Mills might have had something big going. He had a great burst, popped through the first level, and then the ball pops out. Here's a look at it. Uguak forcing that fumble.
I believe it's Luau Uguak is going to get there. Beverett on the outside, but in a hustle play, look at 96. He punches with the right hand. The ball pops out, recovered by Darnell Sankey. That's creating a turnover. Not a mistake by the offense, but the creation of a turnover by the defense.
Former Calgary Stampeder. Started here as a rookie, did Sankey, who recovered that back in 2021. A year in Regina with the Riders.
Uguak, you see that arm? Yeah, that's why the ball flew out of there.
Big, powerful arm there.
Yeah, yeah.
Montreal takes over on their own 39. Big stop by the defense. MBT under pressure and taken down. A flag as the tackle and sack is made. Charles Wiley's not happy.
Roughing the passer. Calgary number 93. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, this is a horse collar, roughing the passer type of play. 93 on the outside. Here's Wiley, and he's going to slide to that B gap. Nice pass rush. He does it all right. Gets to the quarterback. Doesn't allow him to set up and throw, but grabs the harness. At the bottom of your screen there. Grabs the harness and pulls MBT down backwards.
Penalty moves him up to the 54. Drop it into the hands of Rambo, trying to find some space. And eventually held onto there by Anthony Johnson after a 6-yard pickup.
This is a change in sort of strategy for Jason Moss calling the plays because of the interior pressure that Calgary is putting on McLeod Bethel Thompson. They're getting a good push down the middle. Well, Wiley got the penalty, but whether it's Hutchings or Miles Brown, getting that good push. So what Jason Moss is saying in response is, let those D linemen get up the field. Let's throw the screens behind them.
Second and 4. Bethel Thompson, deep shot, far sideline over the head of Austin Mack, and incomplete.
Wrong guy, inside guy. There we go. Corner route. Sibasu was running the curl, but there's the deep corner, and Damon Webb picks him up. It's a real good job not to get a pass interference call. Just ride along and not panic. on the deep route.
Calgary dodges that fumble from Mills. Doesn't give up any points, and will get the ball back. Kalen Horton waits, low kick. That'll bounce just inside the 15. Takes it, short return, nowhere to go after a 43-yard kick. Well, WNBA action continues Monday as the Liberty will take on the Storm. Coverage gets underway at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN. Well, that last drive that Calgary had prior to the Mills fumble, 8 plays, 5 minutes off the clock, but nothing to show for it. Alouettes defensively showing some pressure. They'll get it out to Philpott, and the tackle is made by Deontay Ruffin for a loss.
Yeah, and you know, they love to have Deontay Ruffin out there, who's a veteran of 4 years out of Western Kentucky, and a guy who has played 3 different positions for the Alouettes this year. I mean, he's been out there on the corner. Lorenzo Burns comes back. He's played at the halfback spots.
His career also started right here in Calgary.
A few guys like that.
BA needs to find 13. Is there a big play here? He's in trouble. Escapes on the run to his left. Now he's going to try to do it himself. Look out.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
BA trying to shake it off. We'll need a slower look at that, but there's definitely contact.
Yeah, he's going to get
play, and he'll be pulled out of this ball game.
Yeah, he's going to come out. He's going to come out. The medical staff will look at this reaction. It's Darnell Sankey, and I was thinking right about now as he got out here, you better start hook sliding now. And he decided to lower his head, and his shoulder was Sankey coming downhill at him. Beverett from the inside, Sankey on the outside, sandwich him.
Just a forearm on the top of the head, but he did look wobbly when he was getting up. We'll monitor that situation. Victor on this return after a 56-yard kick. And a flag when he brought that in. Looked like there might have been a face mask. Now an extra flag late. And the 2 of the most disciplined teams in the Canadian Football League coming a little bit unhinged in this one.
Well, right at the point of attack, I think it was Antoine Duquois who got a holding call, or at least was holding. I don't know if that's one of the calls, but he was clearly holding from what I saw live, right where the ball was caught.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding Montreal number 9. Also a 15-yard misconduct foul. Montreal number 9.
Jason Moss not happy. Looking at Vernon Adams on the sideline after contact on that last play.
That was a good shit. I just stayed on.
Calgary leads at home 21-14 to 3. Calgary on top as we get set for 4th quarter action. They lead 21-14. What's this game get decided by?
Well, you want the good news or the bad news is? The good news is we have a 1-possession game. Montreal is okay with that, I'm sure, being on the road against a very good Calgary team. However, these 2 teams, as we mentioned, were the best 2 teams in the league when it came to penalties. Way too many in 3 quarters. That has to be cleaned up big time in the 4th quarter. And you get a feeling that the defense in this game, which defense is going to make the biggest play? Like, there's one play that's going to happen in the 4th quarter here that's going to make the difference. And I just have a feeling it's going to come from one of these defenses.
They're both certainly capable of it. Second in the league in interceptions coming into this game, both of these teams. NBT far side has Speaker, and Speaker barrels over LaBrosse, who's in at corner after Adrian Green left in the first half after his 4th interception of the year.
Yeah, when you're Speaker here and you've got this zone drop from the corner, this is why MBT wants to hit him. You've got the corner and LaBrosse. Remember, Adrian Green's no longer in the game. He's out there and he plays soft because he's got a deep threat that he's got to look at in the zone.
Calgary 5-0 this year when leading after 3 quarters. On the ground, Thomas Erlington, who was injured earlier in the game. He's back in now. That's a good sign for the Alouettes. Averaging less than 3 yards per carry, though, in this game.
Now, Montreal has had some big play potential, some big play opportunities. Noticed deep down the field, usually down the middle of the field, but because of the interior Calgary pressure, McLeod Bethel-Thompson hasn't been able to step into those throws.
He'll look for 8 more yards here. Time in the pocket. Dumps it off. Sivasu's got it, and he's got a first down. How about the fancy footwork from McLeod Bethel-Thompson?
Well, he broke a lot of rules. he just broke a lot of quarterback rules. Rolling this way, throwing it back over here. That's a rule. That's a no-no, even for veterans. But, you know, when you have confidence, I know it's not a big deep throw, but look at the pressure around him. Look at the coverage out there and all the bodies, and he threads that needle and gets it to Sivasu.
From their own 43, Sean Thomas Erlington with some blocking setup, and he takes it ahead for a first down. Nice play call there for the Alouettes.
What does Bob Slowick do to stop the screen game from Montreal? I think they've found something here, and Jason Moss has, to attack this Calgary defense, as we've mentioned many times. It's been so good all year, but there's been some pretty big plays, either the tight end screen to Sivasu or that one right there. The screen game seems to be a good call for Jason Moss. That was a 15-yard gain.
Onto Calgary's side of the field. Sideline, coming back to the ball was Sneed, went down to get it, but could not hang on.
Yeah, just a little underthrown. It was a deep out. Sneed he dug in, tried to hustle back. Dominic Ryan said, I hear you, man. I've been there. Receiver talk. When receivers talk, one thing always comes up. They're always open.
Throw me the ball.
Yeah, just ask a receiver. He's always open.
Huge second down here early in quarter number 4. MBT near sideline again, goes right back to Sneed. This time he's got the ball and he's got a first down.
Got it right this time, right? As far as the accuracy is concerned, got it this time. Sneed on the timing route, up the field. He gets Johnson turning, gets him out of his back pedal, and the throw is bang on. This time Dom Rhymes was, oh yeah, that was what you needed right there. Coaching him up.
Speaker, far side, takes it ahead to the 35 as Montreal marches on with 6 more.
So with the quick game and the screen game, one of the ways you can defend against that, if you're Calgary, is to play man and get up and press. And that basically takes that screen game away because you're pressing on the receiver they want to get it to, or a back. And that would mean a linebacker coming out of his area and going right to the back as he comes out of the backfield to set up for a screen. That's one way you can do it. But now you're in man-to-man across the field. You only need to win one of those matchups.
8th play of the drive for Montreal. McLeod Bethel-Thompson looks to his left, comes back to Sneed. Sneed forced out of bounds, just outside the Calgary 25.
Yeah, and MBT knows how to dissect his zone. He has no problem. He's a great thrower of the football. He has no problem throwing that wide side out. We saw the one that was a little underthrown, but he's been on the money on those long throws. And that's the soft spot in this zone that Calgary's playing right now.
Moncrief eventually there to finish off Sneed. Alouettes looking to drive and tie this game. Another quick one. Austin Mack this time held on to. LaBrosse is there to make the tackle. Just 3 yards that time.
You mentioned it early, though, in the red zone. And the Owls are closing in on that now. That's the 20 and in. They're hitting on just 53%. That's low.
That's where they are tonight, too, 1 for 2.
Yeah, that's low in the league average. I mean, the top team in the league is Winnipeg at 79.
Big 7 yards on the 10th play of this drive. 3 options. Short side right for McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. Has Rambo, but Rambo will be stopped short.
Moncrief has quite the stat line. Tackles, knockdowns, fumble recoveries, interceptions, tackles for losses, pick 6. And apparently a leader in the barbecue area.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
An important role.
Him and Damon Webb get the team together, get the defense together. They barbecue it up. Apparently, Derek Moncrief knows his way around a barbecue.
Say what item specifically?
No, it didn't matter. Yeah,
you're right. I guess it doesn't matter.
It didn't matter. It was steaks.
I was
chicken.
just curious.
Yep.
6-minute drive for Montreal will end with a field goal attempt of 28 yards for Maltos. 90% on the season, just inside the left half. Zima holds. Maltos pushes it through. We've got a 4-point game with about 8.5 to play on Thursday Night Football to kick off Week 8 in the CFL. Well, there is a look at P.J. Walker coming into this game. Those are his numbers at Temple, where he was the all-time passing leader when he headed to the NFL. VA is in the 10th, we believe. P.J. Walker came up here last year, was around for the final month and a half of the season. After his last stint in the NFL was with Seattle.
Let's go back to the injury on Vernon Adams. He was scrambling on a 2nd and long and got caught between Beverett and Darnell Sankey. Got up a little wobbly. They've been assessing him ever since, and there he just coming out of the tent, taking a look, and
came out of the tent, goes to the sideline, no helmet in his hand. Walker, near sideline, and he'll get it into the hands of Rhymes. That's his 4th catch of the game.
good throw, hard throw, but short of the first down by a bunch. Calgary will have to punt, so we'll keep our eye on whether or not Vernon Adams can get back in this game. It doesn't look like there's any real sense of urgency for that.
P.J. Walker, 30 years old, bounced around the NFL for about 7-8 years. And that 15-game stretch in Carolina that included 7 starts. This is bobbled, picked up quickly, and returns to about the 25. Montreal trails by 4 on the road. First full season for Jalen Hutchins with Calgary. 4 sacks coming into this one. For more on him, let's send it back down to Chantel Chan.
Jalen Hutchins was seen as a very top prospect when he was at Texas Tech. What happened was on his senior night, he ended up tearing his lateral meniscus because one of his teammates ran into him. And so he ended up missing the whole entire pre-draft process. And he said that he talked to NFL teams, but they were actually scared to draft him. And it was a really tough time for Jalen because he said that he knew that he was good enough to make a team, but he was seeing other people get opportunities. He ended up being signed by the Chicago Bears, but being cut 2 weeks into the preseason, and then Calgary called him. And now he's officially playing his first full season in the CFL. He feels that he's 100% healthy. And remember, guys, this is the same player that was on Bruce Feldman's freak list on The Athletic. And one of the craziest stats was that he had been clocked running at speeds of 18 miles per hour while benching over 500 pounds and squatting more than 700. Dustin?
Sounds like a keeper.
Wow. Okay, well, we gotta break down that.
2nd and 4. Down the field, dropping it in there. Oh, and Speaker, he had it until he didn't. He will want that one back, his 2nd drop of the night, but this is a huge one.
Well, you don't get that opportunity, and McLeod Bethel Thompson on the road has a chance here to get into field goal range at the very least. That ball was placed bang on where it had to be, outside shoulder to Speaker, away from the coverage from the inside, and he just flat dropped it.
Backbreaker for the Montreal offense. With just 6 minutes to play, too. Zima gets it away. Horton catches it on the run, takes it back. About a 10-yard return, and it'll be up to P.J. Walker to seal this away for the Stampeders. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium, where an emotional Vernon Adams watches on after leaving this game with an injury. Distraught on the sideline.
You're going to take every precaution, of course, if it's anything to do with a head injury, and it looked like it was.
P.J. Walker's game now. He's got that man, Dedrick Mills, to hand it off to, but that goes nowhere. Ugawak makes the play, and it's a good one.
Well, now Montreal defensively, especially with P.J. Walker in the game, want to get him in 2nd and long. So they're going to commit to the run on 1st down. And get him in 2nd long, send some pressures, and make sure they send one more than they can block up front for Calgary. Here they come, safety low.
Alouettes will back off, only send 4, and that almost intercepted. Oh, Dequoy doesn't have one yet this year, and that might have been a house call the other way.
So I mentioned Marc-Antoine Dequoy, the safety, had walked down from here, and now he's lined up off the edge, and we've seen him come off the edge many times, but this time he shows and blitzes. This is what, especially against a young quarterback, is going to cause problems for P.J. Walker to finish this game off, especially in 2nd and long. Almost threw it right to him after that show blitz look, and he dropped back.
Bassett hangs one way up there. Flags fly on a 35-yard kick that was actually held onto by Sneed. And now McLeod Bethel Thompson will get the ball with just under 5 to play.
That's a no yards penalty, I believe. And the ball was caught in the air. It's a 15-yarder.
No yards. Calgary number 4. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Which is a big one. Almost takes it right to the 50.
That'll be placed on the 46. 8 of the 9 last meetings between these two teams has come down to the final 3 minutes. We got another one of those settling in here to kick off week 8. Their last meeting actually ended in a tie. MBT, Sneed, first down.
Good hard throw in the curl, and they got to get back to Cole Speaker as well. He can shake the demons from the last series.
Big drop from Speaker.
Only takes one catch. Just get that one catch after the mistake, and you feel like you're back in.
Calgary's defense, 18.5 points against on the season. Can they find a big play here? Bevel Thompson fakes the handoff, goes back to Sneed, and he takes it down inside the 30 before the tackle is made by Anthony Johnson.
What a great route by Tyler Sneed here to just work his man Johnson down at the bottom of the corner. Watch how he manipulates them first to the out and then back into the middle. Sorry, I got the arrow on the wrong guy to start that, but it was the second guy out of the Sneed, the second guy out of the backfield, and just a great route run by 85.
Calgary. Calgary will use their timeout. Sneed, 7 catches for 103 yards.
Let me do a redo on that. This is a do-over here. Sneed out here and then turns back into the inside. Watch how he manipulates it, because it becomes a man look. Even though they're dropping players off here, it becomes a man look for Anthony Johnson. And Sneed just precision route and gives that target to McLeod Bethel Thompson to hit him over the middle. Really nice route by 85.
McLeod Bethel Thompson, in place of Davis Alexander, has thrown the ball 37 times. Found a receiver, 29 of them. He wants to throw again. Dumps it off. Tice, spin move, and he's wrapped up and taken down by Sheldon Arnold. Second and manageable on the 30th completion of the game from MBT. And we have hit 3 minutes here in Calgary. Things might just be heating up. Stay with us. We are just getting started in week 8. It'll be Cody Fajardo starting against the Riders for the first time since he left. Zach Kalara's good to go for Winnipeg. They're in Toronto. And then what should be a highly entertaining shootout between Rourke and Bo Levi Mitchell. Crowd here trying to get behind this Calgary defense. McLeod Bethel Thompson, an end zone shot up for grabs, incomplete over the head of both Speaker and Onyeka. And it'll be a field goal attempt with 2:46 on the clock.
To have that well covered is a huge stop for the Calgary Stampeders. Hold the Alouettes here to a field goal attempt. There's the shot to Cole Speaker, but so well covered that I think McLeod Bethel Thompson threw that out of bounds on purpose.
Baltos, perfect tonight. Over 90% on the season. 30-yard attempt for a one-point game, and he makes no mistake.
Montreal likes these one-point games, don't they? This would make it the hat trick if this goes down to becoming just a one-point game. And the game against Toronto, 26-25. Against the Lions, 21-20.
And if you're looking for advantages, they're familiar with this spot, whereas Calgary's won all their games by 10 or more.
Well, been there, done that, right? And Calgary doesn't have that guy right now.
There's a couple of backups going at it. One of them with no experience in the league, and the other with a bunch. Bethel Thompson's 280 yards in this game, touchdown and an interception.
P.J. Walker is going to need to generate 3 or 4 first downs here to try and win by this 1-point lead for Calgary.
Kalen Horton awaits the kick from Maltos, puts it in his direction. He'll take it just inside the 10. Horton upended, held on to the ball. Flags at both ends of this one. And that's out to about the 25 on the return.
You know, talked to Vernon Adams a couple times and asked him about P.J. Walker and said he's got all the tools in the toolbox. No question. He's got some experience in the NFL, as you mentioned, XFL as well. And he, you know, when it comes to advice, VA has basically said to Walker,
Calgary number 77. That's a 10-yard penalty.
It's big.
First down.
But basically said to PJ, look, when you get your opportunity, run with it. That's what VA did when he got his chance back in Montreal years ago. Get your chance, go ahead and run with it. Now he needs 3 or 4 first downs to kill this time.
11 penalties in this game for 121 yards against Calgary.
Ugh. Yep.
Exactly. 2.5 to work. Walker from the pocket.
Nice.
Guns it out there. First down. Got rid of it quickly. Found Brooks.
So not getting into second and long. Brooks by himself down the numbers. Quick slant. He's got a little cushion and got right to the marker. That's his good throw. Confidence builder for P.J. Walker.
Lorenzo Burns and his return to the lineup with the tackle there. Clock ticks towards 2. Calgary works from their own 22. Hand it off to Mills. Line of scrimmage, no further.
Yeah, they're committed to stopping that. You know, they've been told by Noel Thorpe, I guarantee you, on the sideline, any run play, you got to just shut that down right now. Don't even think about if he pulls it or whatever. We'll deal with it in a secondary way. But this is the position they want him in to get the ball back with time to get into at least field goal range. This is a biggie.
Massive second down. 4 options out to the wide side right here for Walker. 3 on the line for Montreal. Walker with time gets it away, looking for Jones. He got turned around and it falls incomplete. And Calgary will be forced to put it back in the hands of Montreal's offense.
Yeah, by the looks of the throw, right on the outside is Jones on this route, and he little inside slant, and he's not sure exactly where that ball is. He has to try and locate it. Looked over the inside shoulder first. It was low and away to the outside, and really no chance to get there.
4 consecutive punts for Calgary, and a fumble before that. This will be taken by Sneed. Sneed picks his way back up the middle and almost into field goal range already.
Down by 18 in their last game, the Montreal Alouettes come screaming back. Cole Speaker, big part of it. We talked about his 100-yard game. Pressure in that second half on Nick Arbuckle. This was the hamstring re-injury. That was Duquois off the edge that turned into an interception by Ento that sealed the deal on the huge comeback, down by 18, win by 1.
Calgary's defense has been exceeding expectations all year. Can they somehow get it done again? Sean Thomas Erlington breaking tackles and eventually finding some, not much, but some positive yardage. That's a hard yard.
Boy, he just would not be denied on this run. Didn't get a whole lot, but I'll just enjoy watching the replay like everybody else. Love this second effort. Sean Thomas Erlington just battling. Hutchings had to go all the way from deep tackle to bring him down.
9 for 22 on second down tonight. Far side, right at the marker. Austin Mack has it. Like he was in some pain. And now are they going to say incomplete? The one official came running in and said incomplete. we'll need a look.
He's the guy up at the line of scrimmage, and let's take a look and see if he did catch it. He's the sit-down curl there.
The previous play is under review by the replay center.
All right, so the replay center is going to take a look at this. Mack remains down, getting stretched out on the sideline.
We'll give you all the angles we have to see if he made this catch, because it's a biggie. I thought there was no question he had it, but...
Well, there was an official that came in and said incomplete.
Yeah, and he looked like from his right hand, he picked it up off the turf there, but you can't... This might be the better angle. Right there when he rolled on the ball.
And the ball rolled out of his arm on the way down.
Did he have it long enough on the way down? Now, the rule of thumb being that you have to survive contact once you hit the ground, but he was on top of a defender as well. It's an interesting ruling here.
All right, we think we have a ruling. This is a close one. Let's see.
After automatic review by the replay center, the ruling on the field stands. Third down.
So the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, which is what we initially thought.
Well, it was initially ruled that way. I actually thought he caught it. Looked like he caught it and was making a football move to run up the field. But I guess the ruling, he didn't have control as he was moving through the tackle, and then when he hit the ground, didn't survive that contact with the turf.
They are going to attempt a 57-yard field goal. Maltos's career long is 53. Horton waits back in the end zone to make sure this thing gets out. Maltos from 57 for the lead on the road here in Calgary. That is up, has the line, nails it with room to spare. What a kick from Jose Maltos. 57-yard deep shot to put the Alouettes on top.
Routine day at the office for Maltos on a 57-yarder. You got to be kidding me.
That would have been good from 65.
On the road. Dead air, no really wind to speak of either way. And that was no problem.
Hammer job from Maltos to put Montreal in the driver's seat with 70 seconds left.
And now the expectation on P.J. Walker just went up a notch. Not survive and get out with a one-point win. Now you got to move the ball.
Got to find field goal range.
Yep.
Has the time to do it. A good return from Kalen Horton, who's new to the game in the CFL. Now would be a time for his first big burst. They'll hang this one up high. Horton takes it cleanly at the 20. Back to the 30. Finds a little bit of space outside the 40. And that makes things a little bit more reasonable. No flags on that return either.
Yeah, that's 20 yards more than the last couple of returns. So that gives P.J. Walker at least hope. But he's going to have to adjust the scope when it comes to accuracy. Only attempted a few throws here in this final half of the fourth quarter.
Career long for Paredes, coincidentally, the 57 that Maltos just hit. They need 19 yards to get to a 57-yard attempt. Walker throwing near side. And that is complete to Rhymes. A couple yards shy of a first down.
What a great opportunity for P.J. Walker to rally this team to 2 first downs and makeable field goal range for Paredes. It's a good start to the series. Getting it out there to Dom Rhymes. Here come the Owls.
Dedrick Mills stands into the right of P.J. Walker. They just need 2 here. Alouettes will back off. And that one behind Rhymes and incomplete.
Darnell Sankey dropped out of there. This was the show blitz from Noel Thorpe. And I said they're probably going to send pressure, but this might be even better to show blitz like you might come after the quarterback and then drop. Only 3-man pressure, and P.J. Walker rushes it. Now, he's got to fight the clock. I get that. But he had another 2-3 seconds to let those routes develop.
Here we go. 3rd and 2. Could be the ball game. Walker from the pocket, trying to escape, throws it high, incomplete. No flags on the field, and Montreal's defense gets the ball back.
This time the line of scrimmage loaded up once again. Kenton Arcou drops, so does Sankey. That just well over the head of Tevin Jones.
And that 2nd and 2, I can't help but think. Get in the hands of Dedrick Mills.
Get the first down.
Try to pick up the first down.
Yeah.
You still have time.
Easy after the fact.
I know.
If he throws a completion over there,
you've got one of the best running backs in the league.
I hear you.
And a quarterback who hasn't played till this quarter, right?
No argument for me.
That'll be handed off. Sean Thomas Erlington. They're still going to push this thing ahead. He'll pick up about 5 yards.
Especially with 55 seconds left. Jason Moss, boy, is he confident in his team, but just
timeout. Calgary
absolutely loves their resilience. And you know, as you mentioned, heading into these final 2 minutes, this is a team that's getting battle ready for these close games.
Yep.
You know, now that's 3 in a row that they've had to come from behind, kick a winning field goal. They've done it different ways for 3 games in a row. You know, the BC game sort of learned from that one the importance of one penalty at the wrong time, or
Second and 5. Montreal trying to seal this away. Get it to Sean Thomas Erlington, pushing it ahead, and he's got a first down for the Alouettes, and that should be enough to finish this thing off as the Montreal Alouettes pick up their 3rd road win of the season, and it will move into first place in the East for now. Hamilton in action on Sunday.
Started the season, Jason Moss's group, with 3 straight wins against Toronto, Ottawa, and Edmonton. And then with McLeod Bessel-Thompson as their starter, dropped 2 against Hamilton in that 1-pointer against BC. Learned from that. And now have a 2-game win streak on a 57-yarder on the road.
A no-doubter, Suits.
It was a no-doubter. Stepped into this kick. Maltos nails it, splits the uprights pretty much down the middle, and could have made it from 60.
Easy. I mean, that could have been 65, and he still would have got it. Maltos comes up big when they needed their kicker the most, and the Montreal Alouettes hand Calgary their 2nd loss of the season. Both of these teams now sit at 5-2.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson gets his first win as the Montreal starter. and is now 2 touchdown passes from 100 in his career.
We have said in the early part of this season, how will the Calgary Stampeders deal with adversity? Well, they lose Alford tonight. They lose Adrian Green, who has 4 interceptions tonight, and they lose Vernon Adams tonight. We're about to find out here, aren't we?
But I would also say that Dave Dickinson, we are going to find out, but I would say that Dave Dickinson would be happy right now going 3-1 in the gauntlet against Winnipeg twice, Saskatchewan, and now Montreal. 3-1 is a pretty good record in that group.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson with his first win as the quarterback of the Montreal Alouettes. And the Calgary Stampeders, who've won 3 in a row, taste defeat at home for the second time this season. Impressive win by the Alouettes on the leg of Jose Maltos. That'll do it, Calgary. Thank you for joining us. Good night.